Okay, sticking with Sebastian Stan, we also watched this year quite recently The Apprentice, which is basically about Donald Trump's early years, him meeting a guy called Roy Cohn, who was responsible for teaching him things like, fuck everybody over, never apologize, never admit defeat, all of those great Trumpian sort of tropes that he's now famous for. So this is examining him as a kind of meek nobody who becomes the everybody that we know, I won't say in love today. And really good character study, great acting, again, done quite realistically, like The Apprentice show in a way. I found some of it was a bit, that kind of over the shoulder, moving around with the camera stuff going on. I might just be imagining it, but that's what it felt like. Like this, you're part of the gang, you're a fly on the wall, you're looking over the shoulder, you're eavesdropping on their conversations and stuff. So quite revealing, or certainly a warts and all look at Donald Trump, which we expected, I think, from it. It was never going to be some sort of puff piece where they're celebrating him. I thought Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn was amazing. Really, really good performance. Really enjoyed that element of it. Sebastian Stan, again, proving his worth beyond the Marvel universe, with another great performance here as Donald Trump. He didn't go too Trump. He never went full Trump. He kept it he didn't do the voice, which is good, because it would have been a bit Alec Baldwin if he did. But he still sort of had the mild mannerisms and the kind of little idiosyncrasies of Trump. I thought it was quite a convincing portrayal. What did you think, son?
I thought it's the greatest movie of all time about me, Donald Trump, not in China.
You're more like Don Jr.
Don Jr. No, it was great. You're right. The biggest factor of this film being a success is that it wasn't a caricature. It was a really fleshed performance. That was a character study rather than I'm going to do an impression. It was just what it needed to be. So Sebastian Stan was fantastic in his role. And I agree, Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn is a marvel. He makes the movie. And what a twat he is. But also one that realises what a monster he's created by the end of it.
You almost feel sorry for him a bit at the end.
You do. You do feel sorry for him and you think, geez, he's worse than he ever was.
Yeah. Like you said, he's a monster he's created.
Exactly. It's great to watch because it is that kind of unfurling of a man who starts at the beginning of the film. He's a pussy at the beginning, like getting pushed around by his tenants when he's collecting the rent. He's a little wimp when he's talking to Roy Cohn at the beginning. He's all like, "Oh, I'm here to see you, sir," and all this. And by the end of the 80s, he's the Donald Trump we know today. He's an absolute prick to everyone, not paying people. He explores all those things that we know. And it's interesting, I guess, because I think a lot of people, especially younger people now, don't know this history of what we know and people who are older know of Donald Trump in the 80s and where he came from and that he was by the end of the 80s and the early 90s, he was a joke, right? Everything he had went bankrupt and all this kind of stuff. But to see that evolution of who he was very different from the Donald Trump of today.
So again, we've got another film here which is about metamorphosis, a change from pussy to prick by the start to the end. But instead of it being a physiological transformation, this one is completely internal.
Yes, that's it. And that was and that was a funny scene when he's all talking. He's talking to his doctor. I don't believe in exercise. It runs out the body. And,
like the body's a battery.
It's like, oh my God, this guy.
But look at him, he's still going. If that
is
indeed his attitude, even though he eats McDonald's every day, I keep thinking, how is this guy still going? Because with Joe Biden, you think, okay, he's very old, he's ancient, he's almost like Egyptian, but he rides his bike, he does little jogging by the French doors of the White House. And remember him and Obama used to do a little jog. And you think, well, he's kept himself well. He probably plays tennis, never smoked, doesn't drink much, so he's doing all right there. But Trump, like you said, he's quite a large bloke and he's just eating McDonald's all the time.
I think they lace it with cocaine or something every day. That's what keeps them going. But yeah, it's an interesting film. I think it's really well done. It's definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to point out, they tried to stop this movie being released.
The Trump campaign.
Camps and stuff. They tried to sue the directors. They tried to stop it being released. But it did come out in the end. And the quote from the director, Ali Abbasi, was, "Realistic movies need to be produced about the threat of fascism."
There we go. That says it all, because really that's what we're dealing with. We both saw it before the election. And to be honest with you, we were probably, well, me more than you anyway, we're in that deluded state, was no way he's going to win. Of course it's going to be Harris. Trump's finished. We're going to see films like this come out about him exposing what a rapist, horrible, morally bankrupt as well as literally bankrupt person he is. And no, he's back. We might have a sequel.
What if you lost your fortune today?
Well, then maybe I'll run for president. I don't know.
But damn good film. Well done, Sebastian Stan. Very well done, Jeremy Strong. I wouldn't say it was a top 5 film for me, but it was probably a top 10 film.
Yeah, I'd agree. It was a very good film in the top end of the table, but not in the top for me.
Definitely not. Thanks very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. The best way to support this channel is by dropping us a like and subscribing. Other ways to support us include buying me a coffee and Patreon. This video was sponsored by funkyt-shirts.co.uk. Check out their website for a full range of awesome t-shirt designs. You can find all the links in the description.